Hey everybody, I'm Steve Owens, one of your tournament directors with the Georgia Bass Nation Kayak Series, and this is your angler briefing for what's our fifth event of the 2025 season, Lake Sinclair out of Milledgeville, Georgia. We're hosted by Visit Milledgeville. We appreciate the support that they give us. It makes it possible to have the turn my notes off to uh to have the checks and stuff like that when you see back there. Well, that's actually a Florida Bass Nation. When there's the red one, there's our Georgia one. So yeah, we appreciate them um, and all of our other sponsors here. And I would happen to actually shut down my notes here. So that's what happens when you're a super duper tournament director. So anyway, appreciate all of you tuning in. Bear with me just a quick second. I'll get these pulled back up. There we go. Got it. All right. Yeah, like I said, this is our fifth event. I'd like to start out by um, I'm going to go through the list of what we've got, and in way of sponsor support right now, we're very blessed to have what we have in the state of Georgia. We're one of the really good states in the not only southeast but the country as far as support goes for what we get to do in the kayak space. And you all support our sponsors really well. You do a good job highlighting them. We've got the staples of what we'll call Georgia kayak fishing for the last 5-6 years. Dugout Bait and Tackles back as one of our title sponsors, along with Carl Black of Kennesaw, our Angler of the Year sponsor. That prize gets thousand, or that winner of that Angler of the Year title gets the really nice big catch trophy and $1,000 cash. We worked this year with GSM Outdoors and procured some prizes to go along with second and third, because those anglers deserve something as well. But when you're dealing with budgets, it's hard to give everybody money for everything. But we've got a Dobbins rod for second and third. We've got a Guardian light kit for one of the other places. May stack and tier some of these, but we want to spread prizes out. We've got a broken twig landing net, which if y'all know, I dumped on Guntersville and lost that net, man. And I was stressing or not really stressing, but it sucked because I really like that net a lot. It floats, super strong, sturdy. It's easy to handle the way it's balanced. And what they are is they're broken hockey sticks that have been repurposed, and they're pretty awesome. Got a big, nice rubber net, so the treble hooks don't stick in it, kind of the catfish style loops. And so we got one of those coming for somebody at our state championship if it doesn't go into the Angler of the Year pool. We're supported, all the time by Newport Motors. They're part of the Bassmaster Kayak Series this year, but as y'all know, every year since we went into a trail series format of Georgia Bass Nation, they've given us a motor to award every year at the state championship. Dakota Lithium's always supplied batteries. Don't know what that's going to look like for the rest of the year, but do what I can there to hopefully get us a battery to go with that motor. We're supported by Tumlin Homes and Associates here in Tennessee. They are licensed in our other area there. Sniper Marine's back as our big bass sponsor. We've got Native Watercraft coming in this year. We're going to have a paddle kayak to give away at the end of the season. Precision Hardwood put in money to pay for the checks and the catch trophies and everything. Local company here that I'm a part of is Spirit Hall. There's ones that makes our checks for us. We've got some new things coming out that I'm working with them on. That's going to hopefully, you see some of it in another trail series that we all run in Tennessee, and that's due to the Bill Dance Signature Lakes. They wanted us to be a part of that this year, and so we got to tap into those resources to get those trophies and medallions for the hourly big bass. So I'm working on something in Georgia, doing the best I can. I want to try to, just being a little transparent, make it where probably can't do it this year, but next year I really want to push to at least find hopefully a good sponsor that can kick in about $400 a tournament. If you know anybody that's willing to do that, you can do the math on how many tournaments. I would like to at least give away, a $50 an hour cash prize for our Georgia Bass Nation events for each hourly big bass, and that's based off the time that you catch it. So if you don't have cell signal, or if you sandbag, then you're going to get credit for that fish if you catch it at 8:30 and you don't upload it until line's out and your submission deadline. And there's nothing wrong with sandbagging. Sandbagging only hurts the angler if something happens to their phone. But I don't. We all cut up and carry on about it. But angler has that right. Sometimes you just want to put your head down and catch all the fish that you can and not worry about uploading them. Or if you've got people around you and they check the leaderboard, they can come in on you. We know that happens in the sport. So we're going to rib you about it, but don't take that personal whatsoever. We're supported by Attorney X once again. In our opinion, it's the smoothest, most efficient um, um, app that we have in the fishing industry. We've got Cigar products coming. As you see, we're part of Real Heroes and Purple Home Outdoors going forward. They come in. They're our state championship sponsor this year, but we support them throughout the year by $1 per entry fee goes into a reserve to award to our veterans. They do assistance on um, home repairs, remodels, and building of small homes for our men and women who make the sacrifice of their time and oftentimes injuries and lives just to keep our freedom secure. And you also have the option every time you register to add an additional donation to them if that's what you want to do. So we appreciate it if you can do that. If you can't, that's okay too. But we just appreciate the support that you all can give them for this year. We've got Yamamoto baits, and One Objective is back. So getting into this weekend, looked like today we had in the 90s, the weather in the 90s. And sorry, guys, hold on. All right, guys, sorry about that. That was the UPS guy delivering the catch trophies for the rest of the season and the Bassmaster. So getting into this event, I know I'm running a little long-winded here, but I want to take this time. We're at about the halfway point of the season. Recap of the last event we had at Haddon Outdoors on Clarks Hill. Really, really happy with that turnout. We had mid-30s for that event. As we get to this point in the season, we understand people, you've got family commitments, ball, stuff like that kicks on. But in that one, we had a top 5 in that event was we had Randall Kirkpatrick had 87 3/4 inches. Tom Kazmierski had 89 3/4. Keith Martin had 91 inches. Josh Choi had 91 3/4. Nick Dyer had 96.5 in there. So pretty good payout for that tournament there. Sinclair is going to be another probably 30-ish turnout. And so that's really good, especially this time of year. Georgia, a lot of the lakes are spread out, here, and it's hard to make 3, 4, 5 of them, everything. But getting into your Carl Black Chevrolet Angler of the Year standing. So right now, it's your best 4 events, and we've got quite a few people with 4 events. Some of those people have the single-digit number. If you look at the Google sheet, that just means that they get credit for fishing the event, but I believe that's a skunk or whatever. But so I'll just go through 10th place here. Right now in 10th, we've got Garen Butler. Ahead of him in 9th is Josh Choi. Ahead of him in 8th place is Nick Dyer. Ahead of him in 7th is Chris Spall. Ahead of him is Alan Sweet with 920 points. Jeremy Meadows, last year's AOI, has 944. 3 year ago AOI, I believe it was, or 2 year ago is Tom Kazmierski. Third place, Deshaun Johnson's got 948. Now, this is 944, 945, 948. And then it jumps to Eric Hawk is ahead by about 30 points on Deshaun there. Deshaun and all of these anglers below have quite a few places they can jump because we base off of 250, and we've got some like 206, 218, 225, 216 on these scores. So, one top 5 finish, and these anglers are going to jump up substantially, literally 30, 40 points from what they've got right now. So Deshaun's got 948. Like I said, Eric Hawks has got 978. And Joseph Gayton right now is stroking it pretty good with 982. He's got a 250, a 249, a 245, which is like that's top 5 finishes, all 3 of those. And then a 238, which is, not great, So he's got a lot of room he can move. So that's really, really good to see there. So the race should be tight. That means you're going to have to get to Russell. You're going to have to fish Three Rivers and then the season ender at Notley. Um, so looking at moving forward, as I mentioned about that $50 big bass hourly, we may look at the standings next year and or in the off season, and maybe we include the state championship in Angler of the Year. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. It'll be your best 4 events plus the state championship if you want the Angler of the Year. And it won't be any sort of crazy scoring. It'll be just a standard scoring for the weekend, 250 points for first, and so on. So won't be double points or anything like that. So just wanted to give you a little update and love for those in the top 5 of the Carl Black Kennesaw Angler of the Year standings. And so we'll get to this event here. It's a $75 entry fee this weekend. I'd mentioned we're hosted by Visit Milledgeville, and our headquarters are going to be the Pickle Barrel Cafe and Sports Pub. We go there every year. This year in particular, though, it's a graduation weekend, so it's a prime time hour. So they can't necessarily reserve that room for us. I'm going to get there early enough to where I can get us hopefully some good 3 or 4 tables there, or at least get the patio for us. Looking at the weather, as I mentioned, looked like today y'all had a heat index of 100 down there, but tomorrow, it's going to be pretty warm and muggy, a lot of overcast. It's going to have a slight breeze all day long, but you can't trust my weather app. It's awful, but that's all I have to go by. But looks like you're going to have, some muggy conditions, but at least maybe you'll have a breeze throughout the day. I think there is some sort of team tournament going on. So as always, make sure that you have your PFD on at all times. Your 360 white light, if we're launching before safe light. And if you have a motor, you have to have a red and green navigation light as well as a 360 light. If you don't have those lightings, if you launch, you have to have a 360 white light. If you've got a motor and you don't have the green and red lights, you can still have your motor on your kayak. You just can't have it in the water until it gets good in daylight. If you've got any questions about what good in daylight is, then you probably maybe don't need to be fishing. But that's about it for safety. Just watch out for one another. If you need to do buddy checks, give each other a shout. We're kind of still in the grassroots feel in this series. So just take care of one another and yourselves, and reach out to me if you've got any questions. First thing you do if there's an altercation of some sort, whether that be confrontation physically or you have an accident on the water or see one, call 911 first, and then contact me if you can, and I'll work on getting somebody to come and assist you the best that we can possibly. So launches and boundaries for this event: you're allowed to fish all the public water on Lake Sinclair. Your launch options are public ramps, pay ramps that are open to the public, and public access areas. The north boundary is the Lake Oconee Dam, and the southern boundary is the Lake Sinclair Dam. Now, this event is, this Saturday, May 17th, and all times are Eastern. So make sure you check your clocks, watches, cell phones, fish finders. You're going to launch at 6 a.m. You are allowed to get your kayak ready and put it in the water and sit out there and float close to the ramp, just a little ways off the bank, out of the way of boat traffic. Don't be rigging your kayak on the ramp and in the drive in the main thoroughfare of traffic. Do it in a parking spot, and then launch and be respectful of people. Even if you see somebody else doing it, don't follow their suit. So lines in is 6:15, so you got 15 minutes to get to your spots, and then you can start casting. You're going to fish for 8 hours until 2:15. You have 2:15 and 59 seconds to get that last photograph of your catch, and then you've got 1 hour to upload to Tourney X at 3:15. Throughout the day, it's your job to check your stringer for if you submit all your fish, you need to go back through and say, okay, I submitted 5 17 inchers, and you need to check your manage catch function on your app so that if you have a deducted fish, you can contact myself, and then I'll get with the judge and we'll see why it was deducted, because we can't contact you all the time. And it's something we've done in the past, but we're going to move away from it, put it back on the angler. So that you can check your stringer throughout the day. And if you should get your push notification when your fish gets judged. But if you have trouble uploading your fish, or you have a dispute about the way your fish was scored, you need to get in touch with us before that 3:15 submission deadline. If you contact us after that deadline, then it's just a moot point. It's a dead argument. We can't do anything about it. because you had 9 hours of the day to check that fish and get back with us. It's a 12-inch minimum length on these fish. It's a 5-fish limit. If you've got a fish with a bad eye or anything like that, do me a favor, get your photograph of it, put that fish back on the board, record you picking it up, putting it back in the water and letting it swim away. Just reach out to me and we'll get that video, either text, email, Facebook Messenger, something like that. But we'll make sure that we get that fish scored for you to make sure that it's alive and not a dead fish, because that has happened too in the past, sadly. But not much else to go over there. We're going to be at the Pickle Barrel at 3:45, starting to kind of shrink the time from the water to awards. But I mean, awards are important. You know, don't blow them off. I mean, that's this. We're in this for the camaraderie, and you know, if we want to continue getting what we get from our sponsors, you know, they love to see the awards photographs with people holding up stuff, and the city likes it. And if we don't have those kind of things, then they're not going to want us back. So I mean, it's important to do that. I understand that we got to drive home. You've been fishing all day, but you know, try to just push it a couple of more hours to just come and hang out. And I'll do my job of shrinking it back to where you can get there and not have to stand around and wait 30 minutes. The faster you all get there, the sooner we'll start awards. If everybody's there at 3:15, 3:30, then we'll go ahead and knock it out and hang out a little bit, and everybody that needs to hit the road can go on. So, but you know, man, I'm very happy with this series. I'm happy with the feedback from the anglers. You all help with your opinions. They're always welcomed. And we'll learn to tweak and make it a little better when we can, but we're not going to screw with anything if it's going well, and we'll just keep rocking along. But a bigger thing, again, you know, check your stringers for your fish throughout the day. Once you're off the water today around darkish, which should be about 6, 7, 8 o'clock-ish, you need to be off the water and don't go back on it or whatever. But again, the Pickle Barrel is our hub and our measurement, or our meeting place. And in this sport, or in this series, we allow catch boards and Yak Attack leaderboards only. That's all the models of catch boards and all colors of the Yak Attack leaderboard. So look forward to meetings. We got a few new people in this one. Well, we got the old staples in it too. So those Angler of the Year points are going to be hard fought for tomorrow. But man, you all are building a really good, solid series full of a bunch of hammers. And we appreciate all that you do. And it's not always about catching fish. Man, we make some good memories here. We got, you know, anglers from other states that come down and fish with us. We really appreciate that. You all travel and fish Tennessee and national stuff too. So I'm going to hop off here and get everything situated, and I'll be down there. I'm going to stop by Dugout Bait and Tackle in the morning on my way. So if anybody watching this needs something that they want to pick up at awards, by all means, give me a message and I'll get it for you. And we'll catch up when we get down there. And y'all have fun. Be safe. Again, thank you to Visit Milledgeville. Appreciate all of y'all. And make certain that you have your identifier code clearly visible. That can be written on anything. And that identifier code is K Kathy, E Egg, H Harry. K-E-H. It's 3 letters. 3 letters. We went to letters only this year. Sometimes it's really hard with people's handwriting. Sometimes numbers can look like letters and vice versa. So I just decided to go to all letters, and so we don't ever have to worry about that. So appreciate all of you. Take care of yourselves. Follow our sponsors. If you've got any extra donation you want to make to Purple Heart Homes, I can get that from you. Or if you want it for your tax purposes, I can get you in touch with them direct. So y'all be safe on the water tomorrow. Watch out for each other and watch out for the boats. Y'all have a good time and go catch 5 big ones. Appreciate y'all.
What matters to you? Commitment, dedication, precision, connection. Catching fish? Good. That matters to us too.